Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. I had a card fall out. I don't know what it is. It fell out face down, but I'm really intrigued to see what's going on here. Slap, slap, slap. Some aggressive energy there. Alright, when we're coming into this, you got like a bunch of cards. Jeez. Which is not bad. Ooh, they're good though. So we're happy. Yeah, all of them are good. The Wheel of Fortune. This is how this starts off. Something changes, unexpected. The thing is, it goes your way. It's one of those times where it's kind of like things are changing and you're like, ooh, and then it goes well. Then it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of like there's change coming. We're going to give you this. We're going to give me what? You know, some extra money. Oh, extra money? I like that type of change. Okay, let's do it. That type of change, that type of feel. Especially when you get the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles going on here too. Financially, seems like things are stable for most of you. When this change comes in though, if it's not about money, it's saying that like, even though there's changes, it's almost like if your best friend is moving away, you're finding other ways to where you're constantly going to be in contact anyway. It's kind of like, it's a weird change, but you know what? Since they're going to move 3 states away and they're on a coastal area now, I can go visit there every now and then, like 3 or 4 times a year. We just keep in contact. I go to see them. When they need to come back to this area, they come stay with me. It's all cool. It's all good. Like, it feels something like that. Like there's a balance to it. There's a change, unexpected change, but really works out well. It solidifies something. Could be good monetarily. Either that or it's just solidifying itself to where you're feeling very secure with whatever's changing. There's a lot of rushing energy going in there. Why do we have rushing energy? I'm questioning myself. Like, did I have coffee recently? I don't think I've had coffee in like 6 or 7 hours. So, I don't know. I feel a rush of energy and like I'm questioning it. The Wisdom with the Peace card is coming in. You're working with it. It's a situation when the change comes in with that Wheel of Fortune, it really is good. But even like, again, if it's like your best friend is moving away, you immediately go to the positive because you realize it's challenging for them, something they have to do, something they need to do. You're like, I don't want to make that more challenging for them. So I'm going to like not only show them how it's good, I'm going to promote it and I'm going to connect into it so both of us feel better. It's like whatever this change is, it's not just that it's a good change. You're doing your best, and it feels like somebody else is involved. Like for somebody else, you don't want them to feel bad, so you're like, no, this is good, and this is why. Because you're like, you don't want them to feel stuck. You don't want them to feel bad about it. And you're like, no, I think this is going to be great, and this is why it's going to be great, and we can do this, and you can come here, and I can go there. It'll be cool. You want to lift their energy up. It's like I feel like you're trying to lift somebody's energy up, and that's why. Because they do have the Hanged Man. Whoever this is happening to, that Wheel of Fortune happening, it's very strongly affecting them. It feels like it's almost stronger for them than you. Depends on the situation. It's a general read, of course. But they're almost kind of like, they're starting to get stuck. And that's why you're kind of beefing it up. Like, oh, I don't want them to get stuck because I know that's painful. I've been there. I don't want to do that to them. This person means something to me. I don't want that to happen to them. So you're trying to like, no, it's good. It's good. It's cool. This is why. Let's do this. Let's keep going. Do they believe you? Well, do they believe you? They want to believe you. They're trying to believe you. They believe in your intent. They believe wholeheartedly in your intent that you're trying to make things nicer for them. Do they believe that this is what's going on or that's how it's going to play out? They want to believe it. They got the Queen of Cups with the Seven of Swords. They're just not sure this is going to be a good change. I feel like somebody else is trying to be on board with it. You're giving them reasons to, and they want to believe those reasons. They want to go along like, yeah, I guess it could be good. Yeah, no, I guess you could be right. They want to see it your way, and they're trying to because it's like your way. Seeing it your way is much more pleasant than the way it feels for them is what I'm getting. So they're trying to hold it together. They're trying to see the positive. The Seven of Swords is telling me they don't really want to deal with it too much. So they're just trying to autopilot through it a little bit. Sometimes that's what we do through life at certain times. I'm also getting the study, kind of like as more information, I feel like as more information comes in, and I'm noticing that clock tower in the back, like more things are going to come in, more things are going to fall into place. It almost feels like there's other things that have to be activated before this is really going to make sense to them. You have a very positive energy. It's kind of like, I don't want them to get bogged down with this. I know how that feels, and I don't want that to happen to them, whoever they are. Things start to take shape when the right time, like that clock tower in the back of this card again, when that clock tower starts to really kick in like it's supposed to, and things start to kind of sync up, I'm getting fertility starts to show itself in the environment. Whoever you're trying to give this extra energy of positivity, they're seeing it. They're like, no, I think the Cancer is right because I'm seeing it come together that way, and the Cancer said that's usually how it works. It looks like it's gonna. They've got the Prince of Swords. These cards are kind of mushed on each other. The top one is the Prince of Swords. The next one is the Two of Pentacles, and the last one is the Six of Wands. So it's basically what we have is information coming in really quickly. A choice needs to be made, but somebody has to choose to participate. If they choose to participate, that's the success card, victory. Things will go very well. So I feel like you're kind of setting this person up to accept the changes coming towards them and to like actively go towards it. Like don't fight it, roll with it. If you roll with it, it goes a lot better. And you keep reinforcing this. You're highlighting like, oh, by the way, I noticed this in your situation. I think that's going to be good because, or you know what else is over there? This is over there, and you like that anyway, and I like that too. So that could be cool. Like it may sound a little bit, sunshine roses. I like that term, or like rainbows in the sky, unicorns. It may seem a little bit over the top. But I feel like your extra positive energy, especially because you've got the star card, you're being the star card for somebody. You're giving somebody that hope. And it makes things a lot better for them. They're feeling a lot stronger, I'm noticing. But there's more components that have to come in. There's still, like, the situation is forming, and you're just trying to give them energy to keep going. And you're reminding them, hey, don't worry. This is what you got so far, and it's good. I'm not saying everything's going to be good. There may be a couple drawbacks, but you know what? The majority is good. I just don't want to set you up to fail. I want to set you up to win. So I'm just saying, let's be realistic. I think this is overall going to be a great thing. I just don't want you to fall when something a little negative. Just realize that's going to happen, but it's part of the thing. Everything has a little balance to it. And I feel like you're also trying to tell this person that. Like, let's just be on the level. It looks great, and I think overall it is, but I don't want to set you up expecting everything to go perfectly, because I'm getting that with the star card with all these pieces. Like, you also want them to stay hopeful when things start to get a little rough. Like, when you start doing the move itself, it's going to seem like it's daunting, but it's going to be okay. When you first get there, you might be a little lonely for a couple months, but that's going to be okay. It's going to be a phase. It's going to move on. You're helping this person move forward. But I'm seeing harvest. It's almost like they're choosing to go out into that field and pick all of the bounty, to like pick the pumpkins or strawberries or whatever it might be in the field, harvest the wheat, whatever's going on. You're inspiring them to actively go forward. This could stagnate, but I feel like your energy amping this up is getting it to not. It's keeping it moving forward. This is the one that fell out. Aphrodite's left spell upside down. This doesn't feel like they want it to be. When it actually happens, I feel like it is good, is why this is upside down, but they're not feeling it. When they first get there, and I feel like you tried to kind of warn them, it's going to take a minute to get used to it, because I'm feeling like they don't really like it at first. Whatever this changes, whoever you're dealing with, they don't really like it. And I feel like you're very sympathetic to that. Kind of like, I know, I would feel that way too, but hold on and keep going. This is going to go well. Just don't give up. Just hold on. Let's keep going. You can talk to me. You can call me. We can see if we can set up things to hang out. You're trying to think of ways to help this person. You got Isis Inspiration, which makes me feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect with you and this person. It might be like almost like texting, or like almost like emails even. Kind of like you're writing out a bunch of stuff. It's like there's so much I want to write out. I got to use email. And it's like neither of you can respond right away. You're both very busy, so there seems to be something going on with that. I'm getting they're trying to figure out what they're doing, and they also got the Five of Wands, which is telling me they're very conflicted. It's almost like once this change actually happens, like the wheel turned previously, but now when it's actually in motion, the situation is in motion, they're not liking it as much, and they're very conflicted. They're not sure what they need to do. They're not understanding why it feels this uncomfortable to them, but they don't like it. And I feel like they're just kind of resisting the change. They were trying to go with it, but it just seems like they're resisting it without even realizing it, or not realizing how much they're resisting it. There's the Five of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Page of Swords. They listed as the Princess, but in this situation I do feel it's like a page energy. Because sometimes the Prince and Princess, they kind of flop back and forth for me when they're the Page and the Knight. And I do feel like it's kind of like a page energy here. There's not a lot happening. There's a lot of listening, there's a lot of talking, but there's not a lot happening. And I'm getting that king with the page energy is kind of like when the king puts out orders, he needs knights to help him, king or queen, and then knights not being gender specific either. And I'm getting like when you get like a page energy, when you need like the big things taken care of, you need things really handled, you need people to go out there and collect the taxes or whatever they got to do. You can't send a page to do that and expect it to go right. And I'm getting like the energy is not well developed at this point. It's going to take a minute for it to really come together. And the Five of Cups especially, I feel like they're expecting a lot more to come forward than is ready to come forward. It's kind of like when you plant something, you got to give it time to grow. You got to give it time to germinate and do everything it's got to do. You're not going to plant something today and get something in a month. It might be a couple months, for it to really come forward and really give that bounty. And I'm seeing you with the Ace of Wands, kind of like you're telling this person, like, listen, I know what you want, I know where you're going, and I think you're making a great start. We gotta you keep going with that great start, but I think if you keep going forward expecting this to be perfect right off the bat, you're gonna have problems. Because this is over on your side, how you're explaining this to the other person, kind of like, this isn't like a flash in the pan, and not for nothing, a flash in the pan only lasts in a second, and then it's gone. You got to give it time to come together. You got to give it time to keep going. Keep moving forward. Keep working towards what you want. But I'm getting with the Ace of Wands on your side, you're trying to actively support this person from whatever stance you have. Because you have the Ace of Wands, and I'm noticing they don't. In the sense of like you're actively doing things to help them. You're the one creating a better situation for them. You're empowering them. And I'm also noticing something interesting here. You have the Ace of Wands. It's like you're handing it to them, because in the Emperor's hand is that wand. It's the Ace of Wands, in my opinion, in their hand. It looks a little different, just to be fair, because there's an Ankh on that one. There's an Ankh on the top of this one. The other one has like a tree type thing going on, in case you want to compare the two. But you're giving them, you're empowering them, and you're like, listen, you gotta like kind of pace it down, do what you can. Work it this way, work it that way. You seem to be very much helping this person. And you're kind of like, listen, you can't go out there and do that right now. You can't go pick the fruit from the field right now because it's not time yet. But you know what you can do? You can start planning what you're going to do with it later. Are you going to make this? Are you going to make that? You can look up recipes. And you want to try a couple different recipes, look that up. Research how that goes. Decide what you want to do. Get some frozen berries for now and try it out. See if it actually is better. And then when you get the real fresh berries, it's going to be even better than that. Something like that, because you got safe home protection and you got harmony. Like you're helping this person really come together on this situation. It's again like I feel like it's like this, somebody's moving like 3 states away or something, or moving a distance away like a couple thousand miles. And when that happens, it kind of like it needs to go forward the way it needs to, and you're helping them be at peace with that. Judgment goes in the favor of both you and whoever you're dealing with. I get that at the end, but it's kind of like you might be helping this person stay in the upbeat energy. I feel like you're committing to it, kind of like, I don't really like the change. I feel like, honestly, you're like, I don't know if I really like the change, but I don't want this other person to feel negative or bad about it, so I'm going to try to help them as much as possible have that positive energy. And you holding that energy up and keeping that energy positive all this time will give you both a good outcome, give you both judgment in your favor, in both your favors. Okay, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.